Oh shoot, I forgot chat again. Oh no. Where is it? Here it is. Wait a minute. Every time, man. It's every time. Sorry about being late, man. This freaking program of mine just decided to update when I was already kind of late. I was already kind of late. This stupid thing decided to update, and it's like, really at a time like this, at a crucial time like this, and then it started like canceling itself out. I don't know what the hell it was going on. It kept going like, okay, 1%, 2%, 3%, and then like 38%, and it was like stuck on 38. Like just stuck there for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, you know what, I don't have the patience. I'm gonna close it and reopen it and see if it like starts updating again. Close it, reopen it, started updating, and then it got stuck at 15%. No, I think it went back to like 30 something, and then like last time I looked, and then it reverted back to 15, and I'm like, huh? Why? And it was stuck there. It was stuck on 15% for another like I don't know how many minutes. And I'm like, I can't do this! And so I closed it again, and I opened it again, and that's when it decided to behave! That's when it decided to do things correctly. This freaking thing's driving me crazy. But it's working now. Updated. He was just having seizures or something, I don't know. This thing was going crazy. But welcome everybody, welcome in. Today we're gonna watch some videos together, but they were the videos that I chose. I chose videos because I want to upload these videos onto my second YouTube channel for those who may still be unaware. I don't know. I feel like everybody knows, but I do have a second YouTube channel, and I upload like edited videos there, not live streams. You know what I mean? Like edited, shortened to the point of my reactions to the stuff that we watch together. Yes, there are some that I didn't watch on stream though. Those are usually for like really short things, like extra short stuff that it's like, well, this video is only like 5 minutes long. Sheesh. I'd rather just like watch something longer with you guys so we can make a whole stream out of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It feels better when it's longer. So if it's something really short, it's like, man, I could just do that in my backyard. I'm kidding. I don't know how I would do that in my backyard. I can't drag my PC there, but you know what I mean. It feels more pointless, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I got a couple of videos. I'm very excited for two of them particularly because they have to do with Uma Musume. I love Uma Musume! They are my life! They are my meaning! I need horse girls in my life! You don't understand! You don't understand! The horse girls, they speak to me in my dreams, in my eyelids. I see them. And even if I close my eyes, I see the horse girls. They don't leave me alone, and I don't want them to leave me alone. I need them. I need them everywhere, in every corner of my household. I will have horse girls. I still need to buy a horse girl merch. I wonder if there's like a horse girl merch, like an official website or something for that. Because I need them. Hans girls! Yes, I need them. Oh, you lost second place. Oh no. But yeah. But now that we're finally ready to stream, because my freaking thing finished updating my chat system on OBS. We can finally stream. Testing, 1, 2. What are you testing, Atypical? Are you testing that I'm alive? Hello? You see me? You hear me? All good? Hi, hello, Shane Walker. Welcome in. Welcome, Kevin. Hello. Welcome. My chat messages were heavily delayed. Oh, were they? Are they still delayed? Stand by, the update is finally updated. Right? That's what I was feeling at that moment. Your 31st birthday, whoa, is coming this weekend? Whoa, you're so lucky your birthday's on a weekend too. So that means you got a lot more you can do on for your birthday. You could go out and about and you don't have like a job that's mean and it's like, I don't care if it's your birthday. You're working. You know, there's some jobs like that. So you're lucky. You're lucky, Kirito. Happy early birthday! About 5 seconds? Oh. I wonder if maybe my internet's being weird? I don't know. My internet was being weird yesterday, that's for sure. My internet was being so weird. But it was that late at night. I don't know if it's still doing it. Yeah, you guys want to see the videos now? Happy hag decade of birthdays! Yeah, you've reached the hag decade. It's true. You can finally vote and drink at 31 years old! Oh, you'd rather stay at home? Well, maybe you can bring the party to your house. I don't know. Maybe you can... You'll more likely have your friends online, and that as well. You're more likely to have all your friends online to celebrate with. You know, everybody's available. It might be my internet. No! Why is my internet being stupid? Welcome, Gio. I was late since I was watching season 37 of The Simpsons with your brother. Oh, that's sweet. Having good brotherly times together. Celebrate your birthday by splicing up clips of Sienna into a proper long-form birthday message. until it looks like I'm saying happy birthday to you. But I am though, I just did. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. You want me to do the Puerto Rican style? You wanna go Puerto Rican style? You want me to sing you the Puerto Rican style song? The way we do it here. Cumpleaños feliz, feliz, feliz. Cumpleaños feliz, feliz, feliz. Cumpleaños, cumpleaños, cumpleaños feliz, feliz, feliz. Que lo cumpla feliz, feliz, feliz. Que lo cumpla feliz, feliz, feliz. Que lo cumpla, que lo cumpla, que lo cumpla feliz, feliz, feliz. There you go. I mean, it can go for longer than that, but... You were ready with that one. Hey, look, Mr. Shoujo got you some gifts, too. May you have a great weekend birthday. I know it's still early. It is currently... What is it? We are on Friday, right? Yeah, so... It's probably tomorrow or after tomorrow. But... May you have a good, fun, and delicious one. Yeah. Oh, that kind of rhymed, didn't it? A good, fun, delicious one. In case you want to eat cake or something else. I've heard some people eat for their birthdays like steak instead because they don't really like sweets that much. Or like, I don't know, just their favorite food, you know? I'm also still having a difficult time processing the existence of Duolingo in an anime series. Bro, you guys put that in the server. I just saw that. I'm like, that looks nothing like anime. How is this anime? Where's the anime in this? Where's the Japanese culture in this? Where's the Japanese vibes? With the Japanese style, art style. I see none of that. This looks more... This is like beyond Western. This looks like any other American cartoon show. Like, there is nothing anime in this. I don't see it. Where is the anime? I'm looking left and right. I see no anime. The humans are all like square-shaped heads, circular-shaped heads, like little bobblehead cartoony guys. It's cartoon. It's not anime. Western cartoon. Hey, you should watch the YouTube series. Only 2 episodes as of now, called Indie Cross. Ooh. What kind of YouTube series? Is it like a comedy series, or is it an animation, or what is it? They're trying to colonize our sacred lands. They are! And it's also being done by the studio behind Big Mouth. Oh yeah, ew, I hated the way they looked. I hated the style so much, like it really put me off. I just could not watch it. I could not watch it because it was so freaking ugly. Like, nothing against having unique art styles, but God, were they ugly. Holy shit. I could not. I like to see things that are cute and pleasant to my eyeballs. I cannot watch something ugly. Oh. I just know that anime sells well, so they are parasitizing. How do I say this? Parasitizing. Frick. I can't say the word. Being parasites, yeah. With Western-made stuff failing, so... Yeah, because anime... There's a reason it works, because anime actually looks good. Anime looks beautiful. They draw beautiful women, beautiful men, beautiful human beings. They don't look ugly and creepy, you know? They're beautiful. There's a problem with Western cartoons where they just want things to look goofy and not beautiful, and if they want to sell, they gotta make it look beautiful. They got to make the Duolingo bird look like a handsome man or something, you know, husbando, you know, like you gotta make the people goon for the characters! If you want the Duolingo bird, you gotta make the furries goon to it, because it's a freaking owl. You gotta make the furry, you got you know, there's like furry animes where it's like anthropomorphic animals, like what is it called? Beasts? What's it called? That was a freaking anime, and people gooned to the characters in there. So like, if you wanted to sell, you gotta make it goonable. That's how it works. That's why it works. Oh, Kemono Friends, that too. Kemono Friends. You have to make it goon. Oh, B-Stars, that's what it was. B-Stars. You gotta make it look like B-Stars. If you gotta make the owl look like B-Stars. Like, you have to make it goonable, or else it's not gonna sell. Like, no one's gonna give a shit. No one's gonna like it. No one's gonna care. Like, everyone goons. Everyone wants to see good shit to goon to. Everyone, okay? Don't lie. Everyone goons to animated characters. And if you want to sell well, and the reason anime sells well is just because all the characters are goonable! All of them! Lola Bunny, yeah, you gotta go back to, you gotta make it look like Lola Bunny! You gotta go back to your roots, make the characters look hot. Lola Bunny was hot, like, hello, you just make it look like that. What did I just walk into? Welcome, Hammer of Light! Yeah, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, that did well. That did beyond well because all the characters were goonable. The Duolingo anime is not an anime. I refuse to accept that as an anime. That has absolutely not a single speck of Japanese-ishness to it. Japanese art style-ness anywhere. No, nothing. At all. You gotta draw waifus and husbandos. All the humans from those images I saw was like, ew, what is that? That looks like something for a 5-year-old to watch, not for us adults who need goonable material. We need goonable material. So if you want to be a bigger VTuber, you have to be goonable. Sometimes. Sometimes you don't have to be that goonable, you know? Like, you don't have to be, like, almost naked. You just have to, you know, expose things. Small things that makes people go like, oh, I can go into this, you know? Small, exposed stuff. Simple things that a normal person wouldn't think twice, but someone who's desperate to goon would. Cotton 4K, shit. No, wait, I didn't say anything. Yeah, like my shoulder. I haven't got 4K shit. If I truly wanted to be that goonable, I'd give myself the biggest bahonkadonkers in the world. But I didn't because for reasons. I mean, you gotta have small. What I mean is like, the boobs can be there, but don't show off the entirety of the boobs. You know what I mean? Like, expose a good amount of it, but not all of it, because then it's like, then it's just prawn. You go to another website for that. I mean like a little bit of cleavage or something. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That is already enough to make somebody want to goon. Yeah, you gotta give them a small taste, that little bit of mystery to make them wonder what's under the shirt and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's gotta be, yeah, you gotta be a little tasteful with it. Gotta make people like imagine more than what they're seeing. Yeah, small taste, yeah. Alright. I think we're going really off topic here. What are we even you know, I think we can see our videos now. I don't know what the hell we've gotten into right now.
Mr. Big Boss
Welcome, Mr. Big Boss. Welcome in. Yeah, you're essentially editing them, basically. But that's how you get like people to draw really awesome art that is like extra goonable of the character that wasn't even as goonable until the artist drew it, you know? Like, have you seen like some of those Hololive fan arts? Holy! You know, those girls don't really expose that much. Some of them expose a little bit. Some things are a little skin tight. Some things is kind of just flat out obvious that she got giant bahonkadonkers, but you know, like it's not, you don't see it out and about like that. But when you see the fan art, you see way more. So, yeah, okay, anyway. Let's just move on. Let's watch our videos now. Let's do videos. Okay, we got some fun videos because I got some stuff that I really like. So, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Oopsies. Ah! He's eating me! He's so cute. He's so cute, the little baby hippo. What was his name? He has a name. He went viral on the internet. What was that hippo's name? He's so cute. He's like the cutest hippo I've ever seen, because normally I see hippos and I'm like, oh, he's scary. But this thing is actually cute. Oh, Moodang! It was Moodang! He's actually so cute. Where the hell do I have the... Is it this? Oh yeah, here it is. Where the hell did it go? Moodang! Okay, I think if I have it out like this, it'll show up. Ah, la 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 la. Ah, la 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 la. There we go. I got our video. Let me just cut this out here. Make it look more professional. Okay. Here's our video of the night. Ta-dang! All right. Are you guys ready? Let me make it loud. Make our video loud. Because I think it's very quiet. We are going to experience Uma Musume, the best game ever created by mankind of all the universe. This is my favorite game ever right now. I am literally playing it every night.
Hey, you wanna hear my alarm?
Sorry, that's my alarm. Every night. And I cannot live without this game. It is peak. It is a peak game. That's all I'm telling you. Oh, wait. I just realized I forgot to take my meds. Give me one moment. Oh my god, thanks for the hype train!
Wake up! Get the fuck up! Oi! Wake up! Get the fuck up! Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. That's right. Up and at 'em. Come on. Come on. Come on. Feet on the floor. Let's go. Chop chop. You're gonna be late. And then what's gonna happen? You're not gonna have time for breakfast. You're not gonna have time for a snack. You can't pack a snack. And then what? You're gonna be grumpy and you're gonna be hungry. And whose fault is that? It's gonna be your fault. Alright? Come on. Get up. Let's go.
What the hell is... What did I touch that was dusty? Or dirty or something? My hand has a weird stain on it. Is there a dusty thing on my desk? I had my pills on my desk. Ah! Time to eat all my pills at once. Okay. Okay, I'm done, I'm ready, let's go. Let me know if it's too quiet or too loud.
In a nuclear fallout
Oh,
shelter.
what the frick, wait. Okay, let's start over. He cut off his first words.
So unless you've been in a nuclear fallout shelter, or actually off the internet contributing to society, making connections, memories, and even perhaps contributing to that 401k, and maybe committing a bit of tax evasion, we don't judge here, but you probably don't know what's been happening on the internet as of late. And that's a good thing, most of it can be ignored nowadays. You probably don't even know what soggy biscuit is. Don't Google it, it's not
soggy
worth it.
biscuit?
But there has been an
Wait, chat, do you know what that is? What the hell is soggy biscuit? I'm scared. He said don't Google it. Dude, did any of you actually Google it at some time? Oh my god, look at Haru! Is that her horse? Is that her horse version? Rest in peace, Haru. Rest in peace.
epidemic you probably don't know about that has blown out of proportion these past few months.
Horses!
And it has been everywhere. Every platform,
Yes.
even on the
Agnes
news.
Tachyon!
Any form of short
God.
content has been infected. Even my reels.
Yes!
My reels. The one that is basically bipolar with how it switches from borderline racist memes to all around just random things. Like it goes from Bible verses to absolute gruesome traffic accidents,
What?
mainly located in India for some reason. Like
What?
yesterday, I'm pretty sure I saw a person get turned into a foldable chair by an elephant.
Mama!
Involuntarily.
What?
It was horrifying. If I ever was
What
going to
the
open
hell
my
is it he
reels
see
in
on his
public
Twitter?
full volume, it would be like playing Russian roulette with 5 out of 6 bullets loaded and the bullets are filled with compressed horse semen. And if you get that reference, you're f***ing old. Just had to keep your ego in check. But speaking of horse semen and glue factories,
Glue
you may
factory?
or may not have noticed the horse girl epidemic.
What? Wait, okay, wait. Why is their logo a smile? Where'd it go?
Of or may not have noticed the horse girl epidemic.
Wait, it's this way. God, this is too slow for me, man. Okay, you know what? Did you see the logo? Did you see it? Okay, wait.
Check. But speaking of horse semen and glue factories,
Is it because many people have tried to glue their lips together? And they're like making jokes out of that? Glue factory.
you may have or may not have noticed the horse girl epidemic. Yes, an
Horse
influx
girls,
of
look,
female
that's
horses
my girl,
on the
I have that one.
aforementioned platforms. Like, I kid you not, it is being brute forced to everyone, primarily because these just aren't normal horses. These horses are horse girls. Anime horse girls, to be specific. And I will be honest, they've kinda growing on me. And yes, once again, Japan is
This
behind this.
game turns
Not only
you...
do we have an anime about a vending machine isekai,
If you never wanted children in your life, this game makes you feel like a parent that you're so proud of your, like, child, your daughter, your horse daughter. It starts to make you think, like, you know what, maybe I could be a parent.
and let's not forget
Unless you abuse your horse.
that one Austrian painter isekai, and that manga about a dogman that wants to touch one of his parents for revenge. And I can't even say the title of said manga because there's a slur at the start. But we also have horse girls now. And of course I'm talking about Ume Musume, which recently, as of around July, has blown up significantly.
This game
partly
is
due to
made
the
by the
world
gods.
release of Ume Musume Pretty Derby, which is a game that released globally
Pretty
in
Derby.
June, but has been available to the Japanese audience since 2021.
Bro, I'm so
These
jealous!
motherfuckers were holding out on us. What else are they hiding? High School
They're using
of the
Lone
Dead
Wolf. I
Season
use that one a
2?
lot, too.
Iron Fortress Season 2? Another f***ing Toradora season?
Oh,
But before
Toradora was
this,
huge,
Uma
too.
Musume was a manga. An anime with multiple seasons, with multiple spin-offs, and even a movie.
I have yet to watch
But
Cinderella.
mainly
You're right.
has seen
That's
a
the
surge in
next one for
popularity
me.
due to the game now being available to the rest of the world. But it was popular beforehand. But what is Uma Musume? What are these horse girls in quotations?
They're
What is
great.
the best horse
They're
girl?
amazing.
Why is the game seeing such a spike in popularity? Why is it all over my For You page? Is the community that insane? And no, there are no femboy horses. I know you were gonna ask, you sicko.
Why are they calling her? She's one of my big greatest daughters. Why are they calling her
First, the plot
male?
of Uma Musume basically goes like this. A bunch of horse girls, each being unique in their own way and with their own personalities,
Yeah.
all attend a school called Tracing Academy to become
Tracing
top racers
Academy.
and also idols. For some reason.
Racing
And
Academy.
nobody is riding the horse
Racing.
girls. They are not centaurs, and apart from their ears, tails, and shoes looking like horseshoes,
Yeah,
and they
that's
also
so
have
cool.
horse strength and speed, and they even weigh the same as horses.
That's
but apart from
crazy.
that, they are completely humanoid.
Or
But
favorite.
not all the
We don't have
horses
that
in the
horse in
game
Global
are
yet.
actually girls. Or are they? Well, all the horses in Uma Musume are actually based on actual horses, or more accurately, are the embodiment of them. And
Yeah.
a lot of them were stallions, just turned into cute anime girls. Japan well and
Yeah.
truly is ahead of its time. In the anime
Yeah,
itself,
they're
you can actually find
genius.
a bunch of moments that actually happened in real life.
Isn't that
like
so
the horse
cool?
Jungle Pocket doing a roar after achieving a victory in 2001 for the Tokyo Yushin. Ogre Cap was very uninterested in things outside of eating and running, both of which are shown in the anime.
So
This
cute.
motherfucker is the sin of gluttony, and he shook his head before races, which is also shown in the anime. And he also befriended a cat that previously hated him. And then there's Gold Ship, who was not only a
Gold Ship,
fiend
oh
in the
yeah.
anime, but was also one in real life. And one of these instances is captured in the anime, where he was too busy arguing with another horse to actually race. Whilst it's unclear what he actually was doing, in real life this did happen, and it cost people betting on him 12 billion yen. Which is
That's
roughly $80
the most
million.
popular thing about
But more about the lore of
Musume,
some
the
horses
real-life
later
version.
on. But if you're one person to worry about spoilers, try and avoid the win history of any of the horses in the anime. But for some
That's
fucking
a lot.
reason, this anime and movies about horse girls racing looks like it had 20 times the budget of something like Blue Lock.
Yeah.
Look, it has actually become a meme online talking about the animation comparison. But there might actually be a reason for that. And that's
look, it's
because
the
not
old
only
man
is
who-
Ume Musume huge
who
in
has,
Japan
like,
to the
years
point
of
where it
horse
holds the
racing
title for the
experience.
most sold Blu-ray in TV anime history for its season 2, horse racing in general in Japan is quite popular, with Japan holding the top 2 biggest horse racing
Ooh.
courses, with more than 21,000 horse races
Nakayama and
held
Tokyo.
each year, with 15 million fans turning up to said horse races each year just in Japan alone. Yes, horse racing in
This makes me
Japan
wanna
is
turn
a
on the
big
game right
deal,
now.
and the horses themselves have their own fans and fan clubs. A
Look,
good
it's
example
Haru!
is Haru, who is in the anime, who was a horse that in real life lost 113 races with
yeah,
no
this one.
wins. But she did win one for retired horses, so that counts. that does count. But even though she lost so many races and had quite the sad story around retirement, she won the hearts of many and was named the shining star of losers everywhere, or the star of underdogs everywhere, and kept racing no matter how many times she lost. Something that is also displayed in the anime. On her 100th loss, over 5,000 people in 2003 came to watch, and in 2004 she actually saved a race course called the Kochi race course that was struggling at the time and was about to go bankrupt. But so many people showed up and bet on Haru even though the odds were terrible, and they primarily did this because it was Haru, and betting on Haru was sort of like a good luck charm.
Oh yeah,
but
I heard about that.
Bets and charms made from Haru's hair
I want a Haru good luck charm.
God
damn it, she
and
passed
Haru was
away.
loved as a horse that kept losing but never gave
look
up.
at her.
And that love is being once again conveyed to this day in the anime and the games community. So next time you're chasing your losses, ask yourself, would Haru give up? And then spin that slot machine. The bonus will come eventually. You can actually donate ryegrass to some of these horses that are still alive. And Haru received so much recently to the point where they broke the website. And she is not the only one people have found love for. A lot of people have fallen in love with these horses and their in real life counterpart stories.
What is this video? What is he cooking?
Bit of infighting in the Uma Musume community about which horse is the best, but more about the community in a bit. But I can almost guarantee you the one CEO that approved the creation of a manga, anime, and game about horse girls racing has just secured the popularity of horse racing for at least the next decade. We already have Uma Musume cosplayers simulating races, and also a collab with KFC for some reason. After seeing the 5th gold ship meme on my feed, I had to see what all the fuss was about. So I checked out the lore of some of the horses, watched the anime, took a look around the community, and downloaded the game that everyone was talking about, that had recently made this franchise about humanoid horse girls blow up even more. And was I disappointed? In parts, yes. And I'll let you guess those parts. The anime was good. I specifically enjoyed Cinderella Grey, which recently concluded, and the movie I haven't got around to watching yet. The game being the first so-called gacha game I've ever really played. Yes, Uma Musume took my gacha virginity. We're ignoring the one time I played Genshin Impact, because that was kind of like Mormon soaking. It doesn't really count. But from the game, I first thought I broke it by alt-tabbing because it just kept playing the intro music concept over and over. When I got past that, I went through the hellishly long tutorial, and then I could finally do the best part of the game. Gambling. Of which I was finally guaranteed the character I wanted to play. Gold Ship. I mainly stuck to career mode because any other game mode except a few is you versus other players, and I just want you to know I've never seen so many sweaty little pay-to-win whales. Like fucking hell, how many of you came over from War Thunder and sold your grandparents to slavery to pay for the top tier characters? But you quickly find in the game you're not actually playing it. You're kind of just a cuck in the corner watching the gameplay like an actual horse spectator and hoping you train to the best stats to beat all the other horses. But it is still quite fun. But once again, I mainly stuck to career mode with Gold Ship. I won my first few races and it went downhill from there, with my career ending before I hit the 3rd goal, and Gold Ship was immediately shipped off to the glue factory, never to be seen again, but you will be seeing her on a Pritt stick in the future. I still haven't fully beaten the career mode with Gold Ship, but I'm not giving up. I am enjoying it though. Yes, I'm enjoying the first gacha game I have ever played, but I did not enjoy looking into the community. Now with the community of Uma Musume, you will quickly find yourself either being spammed with Gold Ship memes.
Hello everyone. Go banana.
Yeah, they have a YouTube channel. They're VTubers
I didn't do that for months. I didn't drop a ball.
Or something to do with Mambo.
Someone's at the door. Who is it?
Mambo. Mambo. Mambo.
Or a post about how much they love Agnes and would do anything for said horse, and then there's the people that take it to a concerning level. Like, what the f*** is that? There's also one guy that spams every reel to do with Agnes, and that is just peak unemployment. But there is a rule in the community. Don't lewd the horses. And that is already asking too much of the internet. There are some people that would goon to pictures of themselves with the Snapchat filter that turns you into the opposite gender. So I don't even think these horses are safe. But the community kind of doesn't want you to do this primarily because of the creators of Uma Musume. Side Games in Japan have a rule about creating certain art pieces of the horses because once again they were actual horses and some of their trainers who treat these horses like family would be pissed to see one of their stallions that was probably a legend drawn doing some heinous shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see my
Side
family
Games
do
if they
that.
found out, but
Sorry,
they're okay with them
I
being
would-
anime girls. That's pretty cool.
I don't
And as
need
people said online,
amnesia.
Side
I would need
Games
my
probably
brain
wants to
removed
keep a
immediately.
good reputation with the Japanese Racing Association, so they can keep pumping out content with actual horses used as inspiration. But people outside of Japan still do it. Just most fans tell you if you do stuff like that, keep it to yourself or just don't do it at all. They don't want another Overwatch situation where most people remember the online animations more than the actual game. But in the community you can also find an arms race where people are fighting for who is the best horse. You got the Ogre Cap fans, the Rice Shower fans, obviously the Agnes fans, the Haru enjoyers, and the Gold Ship and Gold Family fans. Because apparently being a good racer or a good racer and mentally deranged is a hereditary gene in the Gold Ship family.
Yeah, I've heard of
there
this.
are a lot of them. But despite this active battleground, the community has come together a bunch of times. Now, if you haven't heard of W Place, it's basically a global map where you can draw on a specific location and it is displayed to everyone else drawing on the map. You have fandoms that battle other fandoms in specific locations for their drawings to stay, and some people even take it as far as getting hundreds of bots just to maintain certain spots. But what else you may not know is that a lot of the horses in the game, their in real life counterparts are unfortunately not with us anymore. Some refer to the game as a digital graveyard of sorts because there is only like 2 horses in the game that are actually still alive. However, in August, the community came together, as one of the horses in the game, Grass Wonder, had recently passed away, and in one location on W Place there was a tribute to him, which is an impressive feat with all the communities that will battle for a single location. But these people managed to maintain this memorial for a while before it was eventually destroyed, with many putting the blame on the Deltarune fandom. And fucking hell, I did not know you could actually develop a slair for a fandom. Do not mess with these people's horses. But I will say it was sort of beautiful in a way. Making a tribute for a horse that most people had never even seen in person, and people outside of Japan probably only knew because of the anime girl persona. It's kind of wholesome in a way. And it wouldn't be the only time, as unfortunately quite recently the horse who never gave up and had just won her first race, Haruura, as of September 9th, had passed away. There were many tributes both online and in physical locations for her, and on W Place they engulfed certain places in Japan with art of her. Looking around, it was actually surprising how many people truly felt something upon hearing about the news of her passing, even though they had never met the horse or had any interaction with her.
I did a little...
Once again, it's wholesome in a way. And looking at her memorial on the W Place today, it's actually expanded.
We used the same art on our same video.
Is the amount of shitposts. First, they've added a bunch of mods to games like Left 4 Dead, adding Uma Musume to it.
Mambo, omatsuri mambo, dabu dabu, yuda yuda, omatsuri mambo.
I can't tell if she's supposed to be the pipe bomb or the gnome, but this community has been circulating shitposts for years, and I just realized yesterday they were behind a very popular one 2 years ago of one of the horse girls singing Mustard's Ballin' whilst walking down the street.
Oh, that's her, that's Teo!
Like, I wasn't the only one that just realized this was an Uma Musume girl. And it had like 2 million views and it was shared everywhere. This community has a lot of influence. Even Goldship became a VTuber at one point and joined HoloLive on stage.
Oh yeah,
Anything but training. She can also be found on the Uma Musume YouTube channel, which has given birth to a lot of slop for the community.
She was freaking
and she's also
HoloLive.
played
That's the most insane
Playtime.
collaboration.
Pretty sure there's not a
Two
soul
things
that
I
hasn't
love
played that
in
game
one.
at this point. But that is basically the community. These people really love these horses. But really quickly, I just wanted to speak about the best part of Uma Musume for me. The horse lore.
Horse lore. Wait, I just kind of realized something. Okay, we're at 1645. I kind of realized something. It just came to me. Okay, I think it's like around here.
And looking at her memorial on the W place today, it's actually expanded. But what else is impressive about this community is the amount of shitposts. First, they've added a bunch of mods to game, and looking at even though they had never met the horse or had any interaction with her. Once again, it's...
This is my thumbnail. Because not only did I use this artwork, this text, I put the text on top of this. This is mine. I mean, the art is not mine. I borrowed the art and I left the link to the artist on my description, but this is I put the text on top of it because I wanted to put words. He used my thumbnail! Mom, I'm famous! He used my thumbnail, like he didn't even use the original artwork. He used the one where I just put the text on top. What? This is my text, because this is not original to the artwork. Holy shit. Okay, let's move on. What the frick? I wonder if he credited me. Wait. Although he should credit the artist more, because all I did was put... No, he didn't credit me. No, that's fine. Because I didn't make the artwork. This is the most beautiful part of it. I just wanted to put a title on it. This guy, I didn't even expect this. I didn't even know this was here. That's crazy. Okay, let's move back on. Let's go back. I think we're here.
Training. She can also be found on the Uma Musume YouTube channel, which is also played Poppy's Playtime. Pretty sure there's not a soul that hasn't played that game at this point.
I have.
But that is basically the community. These people really love these horses. But really quickly, I just wanted to speak about the best part of Uma Musume for me. The horse lore.
The horse lore!
So surprisingly, a lot of these horses have a lot of lore to them. Goldship, or Golshi, the horse I've mentioned about 20 times in this video, and is basically the community's mascot at this point, but in real life they are a big troll. Not only, as mentioned before, did he lose people about $80 million, but he also tried to constantly attack his trainer. In some videos he even tried to get into a position to straight up kick him, and was all around well known to be very unpredictable. But he absolutely loved his groomer, immediately recognizing him at one of their reunions, and spotted him out of all the people present and came to say hi. However, despite Goldship being this chaotic, he was also an absolute powerhouse when he was in the mood to win, with him winning 11 races in a row and most times always being in the top 5, which is something he may have inherited from his father, who was Stay Gold and had the same record as his son and the same temperament. His mother, Point Flag, although having a limited career, also had quite the stats. But Goldship apparently didn't like being raised by his mother much. When he was born, apparently due to her neglecting him, he would only really be seen around her when nursing. Despite his career, Goldship would retire in 2015 and become a breeding stallion.
In his childhood?
Did he have a successful career. He fathered approximately 517 children in total. The child support would go crazy, but there was one thing which horse professionals noticed when Goldship retired. Often horses that race and retire have damaged or somewhat impacted muscle health, primarily due to the racing and training. However, Goldship was completely fine, and it's assumed when racing he never truly gave it his all. So this motherfucker could have done more, he just didn't want to. As of right now, though, Goldship is still alive, living in the same place his father, Stay Gold, did, and also the late Grass Wonder. He would actually go out of his way to go see Grass Wonder and go greet him, of which Grass Wonder would actually get really happy, and the two of them would harass the other horses.
Wow!
Grass Wonder passed, it was said Goldship was in an awful mood and quite depressed following his passing. I personally
That's
didn't
actually
know
really
horses had
sad.
this
They were
much personality. They're
besties.
like big dogs. I previously thought they
Big
behaved like
dogs?
NPCs without scripts. But for a chaotic
What?
horse, Goldship has quite the personality and relationships. The horse Ogre Cap was a monster on the horse track, and was said to be
Ogre Cap.
responsible for a boom in horse racing from 1987 to 1990.
Oh, that's a really long
and had
time
the
ago.
nicknames Grey Monster and the Idle Horse. Because despite being born somewhat weak and his mother not being able to supply enough sustenance to her child, Ogre Cap would grow to dominate the horsing scene, winning 22
What? How many of
times,
their
being in the
parents,
top
like,
5
hated their
31 times, and only
baby
being in the
horse?
lower top
What the
5
hell's going
twice.
on with these
His
horse
trainer
parents?
noted that the horse only really loved sleeping, eating, and racing. He would be named the Idle Horse due to how many fans he would attract to his
Wow.
races. However, the same fans are said to have been very vocal that the horse had done enough.
He's very
because,
spotted.
as said once again, racing is a lot for a horse. And on his last race, which he won in 1991, he would retire. And like other horses,
Wow, he
became
won
a
his
breeding
last race.
stallion,
That's
of
pretty
which he would
epic.
retire from that in 2007. And in retirement, he would befriend a cat and live his days
a little
peacefully on the
kitty.
fields.
Looks like my
Where in
kitty. I have
2010,
an
he would
orange cat,
unfortunately
too.
pass due to a leg injury at the age of 25. A monument was erected, and still
25
to
is
this
a lot
day,
for a
his
horse,
life
isn't
is
it?
celebrated in July each year. Agnes
Wow,
is
look at
another
that
fan
statue.
favourite who was a
Agnes
horse that didn't
Tachyon.
take part in many races. But in the races they did take part in, they completely dominated the competition, sometimes by many
Whoa.
lengths and breaking records. He was expected to win the Triple Crown, which is winning 3 specific races in
Oh,
a
yeah.
row, but he would be known and respected as the Phantom Triple Crown instead. As on his last race that
Phantom.
he won, they noticed an injury which led to his retirement in the same
No.
year. He, like the rest, would become a breeding horse and was known as a
Oh.
successful sire for horse breeding. But he would unfortunately
made
suffer a
babies.
heart failure and pass in 2009 at the age of 11. I think if Agnes didn't get that injury, the horse would have absolutely destroyed most other horses of that time. But
Damn.
now not only are they remembered for the fact every race they were in they won, they are now also remembered as a direct and
Oh,
intelligent
yeah, the anime
horse
made
girl
her
that
look
the
so
community
insane.
has become absolutely obsessed with.
Dude, let's kill
She
the
was the
horse.
coolest character in that
What?
in
I'm
the
so
movie.
tired, Finn.
In conclusion, going into this, I thought this whole thing would be more like Genshin Impact and have a community just as worse as Genshin, but it isn't that bad and I'm actually enjoying playing the gacha. The community itself, despite loving the horses a bit too much, are kind of wholesome in a way with how they respect these horses that
They're
these
like-
anime
they're like our
girls are based on.
daughters.
The
You
whole concept
raise
of
them,
Musume is
quite
unique, even though we
literally.
have other titles like girls named after warships and in
Oh,
other
yeah, I've heard of
cases
this one.
guns, but this one I
Guns?
genuinely did enjoy, primarily due to finding out most horses have lore and how well they were translated to the media
Yeah,
being produced.
that's the
It's not
coolest
on the
thing
same
about
level
it.
as Warhammer lore, but it's lore, and I genuinely liked finding out about it. But if I had to say who the best horse is, it is obviously Goldship. Fuck you. Anyway, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm glad that even people like him are starting to appreciate horse girls. They are like your daughter. You raise them, you train them, you watch them go through so many life events, and you support them. They go through sad times, happy times, upsetting times, and you try to make them feel better, and then you watch them race and you're like, come on, yeah, try to be better than this, and then they win and you're like, yeah, and you're like so proud of them, like if they were your actual daughter, even if you've never had children, because I definitely never had children, and I don't know what it's like to have children, but like, you know, playing this game, I feel like they're all my daughters. They're my babies, and they need to win. They need to win. Everyone else can go to hell. My daughter is on the track. She needs to win. It's great. It feels good. Like, it's a very feel-good game. And then when you see them on the concert stage after they won, first place, being in the middle, it's like the best feeling ever. And then the songs are all so hype, and it's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, the songs are actually good. I mean, if you've never heard of like Japanese idling music before, or like rock pop, like Japanese rock pop style, where it's still kind of girly cute, maybe it might throw you off if you're too normie. But like, it's you get it, you warm up to it, and it's like it's still really fun. It's still such a huge moment that feels so good. Like you did something so great for your daughter. So it's a really good feel-good game, but then there are some sweaty gamers in it too. I'm not a sweaty gamer. I'm more of like a I keep training the same horse girls until they get better and better and better, because I want them to be better, because it feels good. And then like when I've gathered enough carrots, that's what it's called. That's what the thing you have to gather in order to like gamble is called. The currency, basically. I try to like roll for some cool shit and try to see if I can get lucky. And that part is really fun too. If you got money, you definitely can throw it in the game, but like I don't got money, so I can't really throw that in the game. I have yet to spend a single penny on this game. But if I were to actually have good money one day, like I may actually do it. I may actually whale. I've whaled in other games before when I had a job back in the long ass day. But yeah, I'm actually surprised. Like, I just wanted to react to this game because I saw another VTuber react to this, and I mean, not this game, this specific video. Because I saw another VTuber, like, 2 other VTubers were reacting to this, and I'm like, oh my god, I really should watch this, but I feel like I want to watch it on stream. So I did, and I'm shocked that they didn't just use the artwork that I used. They actually used my exact thumbnail, because I'm the one who added the words on it. Those words were not there originally. That's my thumbnail. He probably heard my little silly tribute, my own, like, me singing it. He probably heard it. He's probably one of the ones that gave it views. I can't believe this. This guy called Royalty is here. That's freaking nuts. Thank you, sir. Thank you for somehow discovering me. You're cool. All right. So, now that we've finished this video, I got another Uma Musume video. Look, I've watched this guy before called Muujin. He has really good, like, video documentaries about, like, really interesting stories of any kind. Quite literally anything. He has VTuber stories in there, too. But the way he, like, narrates is very interesting. He also, like, goes super deep dive into stuff. So it's, like, even things that I thought I knew, I find something new about it when I watch his, like, documentaries. So this guy's really fun to watch. I don't know who the frick this is. I'm about to learn something new about Uma Musume right now. I don't know. This guy, like, his videos are really fun to watch, so I think we're about to discover even things that I don't know about Uma Musume. Because I know Uma Musume has, like, a lot of lore, a lot of, like, based on reality. But I think this guy's about to go real deep. Real deep. Because he usually does. So I really want to see this. I really want to see this too. It's also Uma Musume because we love Uma Musume in this house. At least in my brain, in my house, in my soul, in my heart. Okay. I make this max volume. Okay, let's watch it.
Meet Jiankui He, a Chinese scientist who had created a genetically modified baby, breaking every ethical law regarding genetic research and being sentenced to jail for 3 years back in 2019. After being released, he would somewhat disappear for a while until he got access to social media, most namely Twitter. And in classic supervillain fashion, he would tweet out, "Every pioneer or prophet must suffer," while staring intently.
Wait a minute, I said why, but wait, I think I didn't pay attention. What did he do exactly to the babies? Are the babies unhealthy? Are they like, is it bad? Is it not made by human intervention? Oh, wait. Modified. You're right. He probably did do something horrible to the babies. I thought it was like creating babies out of like, you know, gather a sperm, gather an egg, put them in a frozen thing. Because that's what people do all the time. Or not all the time, but like more recently, I guess. For people who can't have babies and they want a baby, that they do that. And I'm like, why is he going to jail for that? Isn't this normal now? But yeah, I can see now that it's not what I thought it was.
Meet Jiankui He, a Chinese scientist who had created a genetically modified baby, breaking every ethical law regarding genetic research and being sentenced to jail for 3 years back in 2019. After being released, he would somewhat disappear for a while until he got access to social media, most namely Twitter. And in classic supervillain fashion, he would tweet out, "Every pioneer or prophet must suffer while staring intently at the camera," all while continuing his genetic research like nothing had happened. This would of course make him go viral, but what were people's reactions here? Were they shocked? Were they outraged? Were they scared? No, they kept spamming him, pestering him even, with one request. Eventually, there will be so many people requesting the same thing that he had to make an entire post responding to it, saying, "Stop asking for cat girls, I'm trying to cure disease." This dude was sentenced to jail for creating genetically modified babies and forging the ethical paperwork. But the only thing people were concerned with was cat girls. Yeah, I mean, it comes as no surprise, guys. Anime girls have taken over the world. But look, if the movie Ratatouille has taught me anything in life, it's that things are better when combined together. And so some of the most intelligent people on planet Earth saw cats and thought, wow, this is really cute and adorable, like anime girls. Why don't we combine them and create cat girls? The result, a massive success. This, of course, made even more people think, until a particular group of people came up.
Wait, sorry. I'm gonna reload my model real quick. It's being wait. Let me fix it. It's being real laggy right now. Real quick. Sorry about that. Let me just fix it. He being baka right now. He just being a little baka. Okay, I think that's better. Let me move this. Okay, there you go.
Up with a very interesting idea. They thought, well, look, humans love cats, right? I'm sure they love dogs too, but what's one animal that's been with us since the beginning? An animal humans share a very important bond with. Horses. So listen to this genius idea, right? What if we took anime girls and gave them horse ears and horse tails?
Yeah!
Then we would put all these cute anime horse girls together on a track and have them race just like horses do during horse races. But get this, okay? Things don't end here, because these horse girls are living a double life. When they're not racing on the horse track, they're idols, dancing and singing in top-tier performances to a massive audience.
Doesn't that
Sounds
look amazing?
Absolutely insane, right? I mean, seriously, horse girls, anime horse girls racing on a track. You've got to be shitting me, man. The concept of gacha games is already niche. And horse girls in a gacha game, you won't find anyone to play this. Nope, I was severely wrong. Look at this chart
I would play
just
that
on Steam, with a peak of 87,000 people playing at the same time.
Yeah!
That's not all, though. The game hasn't even been out for 1 month globally and has already reached over 1 million downloads on the Google Play Store. Still not surprised? The game has gotten so popular on Steam that it has beaten every single game on the platform to claim the #1 spot for most downloaded games in this current period. Now you might be thinking, okay, fine, maybe it's like this mass hysteria going on. Maybe this concept is so ridiculous people downloaded it, but then realized, it's not really for me, right? Look at these reviews. 94% very positive, with almost 15,000 reviews on Steam. This game didn't just get downloaded a lot. It's now critically acclaimed. But if you're still somehow not shocked yet, well, get this. Gacha games are typically liked by a very specific demographic, young adults who usually love anime. When it came to this horse girl gacha racing game, though, it reached children, their parents, and their grandparents. During the impossible and targeting every single conceivable demographic.
Bro, I'm gonna get my
Guys, it
grandma
doesn't
to
matter
play
where you
this.
go. The metro, the airport, your office, you will most likely
Can
see
you
someone
have
playing
this
this
game
on
in
their
Spanish?
phone. I say this with no
Does this game have
exaggeration. Uma
Spanish?
Musume Pretty
I could
Derby
get my
has
grandma to
taken
play it.
over the planet. And I haven't seen a gacha game do this since Genshin Impact back during the pandemic. But if this still doesn't shock you for whatever reason, then get ready to get sucker punched in the face. Because that's exactly what happened to me when I started seeing headlines like this. Uma Musume developer Cygames is a title sponsor for Grand Prix de Paris, a prestigious horse racing event founded in
that was in the anime.
1863. An event being held for almost 2 centuries. And their logo just happens to be on an image
That's our favorite,
of an anime
I
girl
think,
that is
right?
also a horse.
We don't have that
what
girl in Global
the
yet.
Fuck is going on? And how did we get here? Well, none of it was straightforward, and this game almost failed to release. Uma Musume Pretty Derby has a somewhat chaotic but also very interesting history. And seeing how it's practically dominated the world, I figured we need to talk about it. So let's do this.
We have
Man,
to.
horses are such silly animals, but you know what other animals I like? Warships, warplanes, and war tanks, baby. And the best part
Oh,
about
got
this
another
is that I
game.
can find
This is the
all these
sponsor,
vehicles
isn't
and
it?
2,500 other variations in War Thunder, a vehicle combat
Oh,
game
yeah,
so
I've heard of this
comprehensive
game.
in details that it has over 70 million players on all platforms, including PC, consoles,
could never be
and
Uma
mobile
Musume,
devices.
though.
These vehicles are as detailed as possible, and they span multiple eras. You can then customize these vehicles to your liking.
Is
This
there a
leads us to
horse
my
girl
favorite
version
thing
of
about
this?
War Thunder, the
Can you
fact
give
that
it
there are
horse
no
girl skin?
simple hitboxes. Every vehicle has engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and crew. That's the level of detail we're dealing with here. But wait, it gets better, because if you're a new player or a returning player who
can I
hasn't
make
played
mine
the
look
game in
pink
over
like
6
Haru
months,
Urarama?
you get free premium vehicles, 100,000
Look, American
silver lions,
flag.
7 days of premium accounts,
America,
and much more available for
America, we
PC and
love
consoles. So if you're interested, make
war.
sure to get the game for free by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment. Thank you so much, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video. Alright guys, by now, you know the drill. To really understand the significance of all this, we need context, and in this case, it's going to be a little history lesson. And we're going all the way back to the year 1603, the beginning of the Tokugawa period, otherwise known as the Edo period. This
Oh, I've
period
heard
would
of
be
the
the most
Edo period.
traditional period in Japan, mostly because it would be incredibly isolated from the rest of the world. The people in power at the time feared outside influence. In fact, their biggest fear
feared
was
the
Christianity.
outsiders.
You'd have missionaries from
The
European
visitors.
countries come in to spread the gospel, and people were converting fast. The Japanese leaders saw this as a way for Europe to slowly take control of Japan, so they took extreme measures. They completely locked down the country except for a select few traders who only had access to specific ports. Japanese people were not allowed to leave Japan, and if they did, they wouldn't be allowed back. And more importantly, Christianity was outlawed. The shogunate took extreme measures and massacred over 37,000 Japanese Christians, making it go almost extinct in Japan
Japanese
and ruling
people
for over
themselves! I
2
thought it would be the-
centuries. This would all change
over
in
the ones
1868,
who broke
when the
in.
Tokugawa shogunate would lose its power and
Westerners.
the Meiji Restoration would take its place.
own
One could
people?
say that this period was the opposite of the Tokugawa shogunate's military rule, completely opening up the country, technologically advancing very quickly, and fully embracing the idea of an industrialized nation that can compete with Europe and North America. That way, they don't face the threat of colonization. During this new era, you'd start seeing more foreigners in Japan, like British and Americans, specifically around port towns. Their numbers would start becoming significant to the point where they'd start having their own communities built around those port towns. This is where, to kill time, Westerners would start playing the sports they knew, like rugby, cricket, and of course, baseball, which is now the most popular sport in Japan today.
Oh,
But
they
according
really
to the
brought
500-page book titled Routledge Companion to Sports History, which outlines the origins of sports all around the world, horse racing in Japan was introduced as early as 1862
racing
by
was
those same
introduced.
Westerners. And within just 8 years, the first jockey club in Kobe was formed in 1870.
Kobe.
You see, the Japanese, much like the rest of the world, also had a special connection to horses. They also
Oh,
loved
they
the idea
do
of
use
entertainment.
horses
So they
back
latched
then,
onto the
too.
sport very quickly, as you can see from this old
Oh.
drawing. Japanese people are on their horses about to race, but the people organizing it can be seen on the left here. And they're foreigners, they're Westerners. Today, it's seen as a
Oh.
prestigious sport, with the Japan Cup having some of the highest prize pools on the planet, and the Japanese taking the sport very seriously, wanting
Wow,
to
look
compete
at that. That
on
looks
even
really
footing
good.
with foreign horses. Right now, the prize pool for the Japan Cup is about $8.3 million, with first place claiming $3.8 million. And even though horse racing was seen as such an important sport in Japan, there was a problem. Interest was kind of waning. When you go to a horse track, you'd mostly see men who are in the older demographics.
Oh,
You
the
wouldn't see
older
teenagers, young
people.
adults, kids, or even women that much. In a way, if things kept going this way, then the sport would have probably died out in a couple of generations. It was simply
true.
seen as too old-fashioned. But all of this would change when a particular studio came
Well,
up with
a lot
a
of these
ridiculous
horses are not
idea.
in the game
An
right now.
idea, actually, that almost ruined their company's reputation and potentially could have bankrupted them. I'm of course talking about Uma Musume.
Oh, here are the girls that
Three.
are in the game right now.
Cyber Agent is a Japanese company that was founded in 1998. They started out as a digital
company?
advertising company, but in 2011, they decided to expand in the ever-growing video game market. This is when they would
Oh, are
create
these the
Psy
creators of-
Games, a video game development
they
studio.
created
Cyber
Psy
Agent would
Games.
own the majority of the shares of Psy
They're the
Games,
ones
but
who made
sell a few to
Musume.
other companies, like for
Psy
example,
Games.
Nintendo, who owns 5% of Psy Games. They would go on to
Every time you
create some
start the
pretty
game, they go
well-received
like,
games,
Psy
like
Games.
Shadowverse, a digital collectible card
Musume.
game, and of
Blippi
course,
Dobby.
Grand Blue Fantasy, which was critically acclaimed. But arguably, Psy Games' most important game would end up being one of the first ones they'd ever release in 2011.
Wait, they made
titled
Idolmaster?
The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls.
I heard
this
of
game would be a part of the
Idolmaster.
massive franchise known as the Idolmaster, owned by Bandai Namco, with the first ever game coming out in 2005.
You know, I'm
Many
interested in
games for
playing
this
that
franchise
game.
would release, and in
I don't know if
2011,
there's an
that's when
English
Psy Games would
one.
release the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. They made this on behalf of Bandai Namco. What was special about this game is that it was made for mobile phones back in 2011. Namco was seeing the rise of mobile games, and so that's when they asked Psy Games to help. The premise was simple. You'd collect a bunch of idol girls and you would train them, raising their stats
can
through lessons.
train
You would then be
them.
able to do a number of things, like customize their outfits and even spend money on cosmetics. There would also be many different minigames, including
so
a
cute.
multiplayer game mode where you can fight other players. The player with the most stats wins. Overall, it was simple, but extremely successful. This game was earning more than 1 billion yen a month.
I can see
Back
the
then,
similarities.
That was around $13 million. It was revealed that more than 75% of players who got the game chose to pay for either in-game items or energy in order to play more. And according to this article, in August 2012, the game had made 9 million USD, which is more than the cost of developing the game. This game was
Wow.
making more money
That's
monthly than
success.
it cost to make. And all it did was just feature a bunch of idols that you trained, upped their stats, and got them different outfits. But you see, Bandai Namco is truly taking this franchise to the next level. It started as an arcade game, they made a mobile game, and they also made a manga as well as an anime that
I heard of the
adapted
anime.
that same manga. They were essentially using this franchise to build a media empire, and it was working very damn well. They would continue
Maybe
to
I'll watch
hire
the
more
anime.
developers to create more entries in this franchise, and the most recent release would be in 2024, so it's still doing pretty damn well. This is when Psy Games would have some sort of an epiphany. Even though this was owned by Bandai Namco, they were the ones who made this extremely successful game. And I mean, it made sense. Why wouldn't a game like that be a success? The idol
True.
industry in Japan is
Idol
probably one
industry,
of the biggest,
yeah.
most successful industries in entertainment. It involved finding someone young with talent,
Even the
absolutely
West is
destroying
getting in
their
on
lives
that.
with ridiculously rigid training and extremely unrealistic expectations, and once they get enough popularity, this is when you would milk their fans with a bunch of different media and merchandise. People will do anything for their idols. They'll literally buy a photo album of them, okay? This is why the idol
Whoa.
industry is such a money printing machine. But here's a fun fact for you. When it comes to horse racing in the West, certain jockeys, who are the horse riders, might have fans. Sure, the horses that they ride also might have fans, but it wasn't anything crazy. In Japan, on the other hand, the horses had fans,
so
all right. They had their own
cute.
merch.
I've heard of
They were
these.
recognized by name. Some even had superstitions made around them. I mean, this is just a talent Japanese
How did
people
you get
have
that
to idolize anything
shirt?
they like. And as much as this sounded ridiculous, there was big market potential
Gossip!
here. Psy Games had made a very successful idol game, and yet, horse racing was a deeply historical aspect of Japanese culture while also having those same idol traits. You know what else is interesting? When it comes to entertainment, the idol industry is very profitable, sure, but one thing Japanese people love to do is gamble, baby. A Japanese person not knowing pachinko is like an American not knowing what a burger is. At this point, it's practically cultural. I mean, look, it goes without saying that horse racing was very popular in Japan because of the whole gambling aspect of it. And now you can gamble on a simulated horse race. It's not even real. And you place your bets on this spaceship-looking machine, bro. This looks insane. That's how much they love it.
Colorful.
And finally, just like how idols and gambling are huge in the entertainment industry in Japan, we can't forget to talk about anime. And in the early 2000s, many artists were having the amazing idea of giving anime girls cat ears or just small animal features. Not to mention that there were already examples in media taking this a step further. Instead of giving them animal features, they would give them features of objects. Like how the game Azur Lane has you collect these hot anime women that are meant to be World War II battleships. I'm not even joking, bro. Look, this woman's called Azuma, and she's part of the large cruiser category. She's stationed in the camp Sakura Islands. This is meant to be a battleship, bro, like an actual boat. Do you understand?
Where's the
and man, does she have some big cannons? Let me tell you that much. So I don't know who the genius at Psy Games was.
Those are
it
some
could
big
be the
cannons.
CEO, it could be a producer. Someone had the brilliant idea to sit everyone down and say, hey, what if we combined all these elements together, right? For the gambling, we make a gacha game. For the anthropomorphic cat girl part, we make horse girls. And for the idol part, we base them off the most famous horses in Japan. While also making them sing and dance, because why not? Now, be honest, if you were one of those people listening to this pitch, would you have signed off on this? Because it obviously sounds ridiculous, right?
It's
Most
all I could ever want.
But Psy Games had top-tier drugs in their office because you know what? They said yes. They then wasted no time getting started on developing the game, revealing it for the first time on the 21st of August 2016 at the Anime Japan Expo. Excitement for this game was actually already starting to build up, and that made more people want to know more details about Uma Musume. So on January 2017, the main content producer of Psy Games, Akihiro Ishihara, was asked a bunch of different questions during an interview, and one of them was, please tell us about the development status. And he said, this game is about 25% complete. Keep that number in mind. But for now, this interview had also revealed many of the horse girl designs, as well as the famous horses they're based on. It seemed like they knew what they were doing. And they had learned their lessons with Bandai Namco. They were going the Idolmaster route, not just aiming to make one good game, they wanted to make a media empire around Uma Musume. So just a couple months after that interview in March 2017, they released a manga. But they weren't done yet because they wanted to adapt this manga into an anime and were going to enlist the studio PA Works to do it. The plan was to release this anime in 2018 in parallel to the game's release. That way both would help each other and they would start off with a strong symbiotic media empire. That was the plan, except nothing, and I mean nothing in regards to release dates, went according to plan. The Uma Musume Pretty Derby anime would release on April 1st, 2018. It wasn't just limited to Japan, it had a simulcast with Crunchyroll in select regions of the world. It was almost an instant success. Similarly to how people love the idea of cat girls, the idea of horse girls was also very well received. But a couple of aspects that it was really praised for were one, its attention to detail, and two, its very skilled world building. But we'll get to that later. Right now, there's a more pressing concern going on. As the anime was running, the game would release 3 more teasers on April 19th. It showcased a race, a live show, and a story/training section. I can't show you those videos because they've been privated, but overall, it seemed like everything was going according to plan, with the game scheduled to release around the end of 2018. This would be confirmed again on July 2018, with yet another trailer showing off the game and its mechanics, announcing at the end that it was going to release at the end of 2018. As people were waiting, wondering when the game was going to come out, Psy Games took their sweet time and only announced on December 15th, 2018, literally the end of the year, that Uma Musume Pretty Derby has been delayed in order to raise the game's quality, saying that they will reveal the new release period at a later date. I mean, okay, not a big deal. I mean, it would have been nice if you told us earlier, but one delay doesn't hurt, especially if the game's going to be better for it, right? Well, the game got delayed again in 2019. And the new release date was slated to be in 2020. Now, Cyber Agent is a publicly listed company, and just like any
if they're just making the game better and better, I'll wait.
So in their third quarter shareholder meeting in 2020, they re-emphasized to their investors that Uma Musume Pretty Derby was going to be released in 2020, confirming that fact. Just a couple of months earlier, in May 2020, the managing director of Psy Games confirmed yet again that Uma Musume Pretty Derby was releasing in 2020. But then, we got to December 2020 and the game was nowhere to be found. But yet again, in the final shareholder meeting of the year on December 12th, investors will be told that this game is still on track to release in 2020, but there were 2 weeks left in the year. It was safe to say that after previous delays, people weren't just thinking, oh, this game's going to be delayed again. They were also thinking, is this game ever going to release? How can you say in an interview at the beginning of 2017 that the game's almost 25% done with a 2018 release date, and yet here we are 2 years later, barely able to make the release?
Jeez.
Usually this means that the game has no direction, that Cygames is dealing with an internal disaster. And what really reinforced this narrative is the fact that the game didn't even come out in 2020. We had reached 2021 and the game still had not released yet. It was only on February 24th, 2021 that the game had finally released in Japan. And while it was cool that the game had finally come out, people didn't really know whether to be excited or worried. Especially with how Cyberpunk 2077 had released just a couple months earlier. And even though it's been delayed multiple times, had one of the worst launches in history. But
yeah,
you know
I
what?
heard of that.
As hard as it was to believe, this was not the case with Uma Musume Pretty Derby. People were so addicted to the damn thing, they couldn't stop playing. The gameplay loop definitely took inspiration from their work on Idolmaster. Your horses, or horse anime girls, would have 5 different stats that you would train them on. You'd also have many different minigames and many ways to interact with your roster. You would then have your horse, or horse girl, race, competing against others in a bid to win first place. These races would make your heart beat like crazy because there was always a chance that one of the horse girls could use a special ability, including your own, like you're seeing right here.
Yeah,
you could
her
be losing a
ult.
race, and then your horse will all by themselves decide to do this in order to win. It just depends on their mood and how you've treated them. One could even say that this was more exciting than IRL horse racing thanks to all these factors. But the game wasn't over with just one horse girl. Eventually that horse girl would retire, just like IRL horses, kicking off the inheritance mechanic just like real life.
Yeah, and then they
Here's an
become a
example. This is
parent.
the family tree of the very famous horse, Goldchip. As you
Oh
can
my
see,
God.
this is probably more complex than my own family tree, and I'm a human. It rivals the family tree of like some royalty from the 1600s or something. This is all done with the goal of creating the most genetically engineered monster that can dominate any race. And that's
They're
what you
just
kind of do
breeding
in
monsters.
Uma Musume as well. The hard work that you put into your now retired horse girl can now be incorporated into your new horse girl by using her as one of her coaches. So in a way, you also become more of a genetic scientist.
Nah,
and
they
try
making
to create
babies.
the
I don't see that as
horse
coaching. I
girl
see it as their
after many
parents.
different runs.
2 women
this
making
gameplay loop
babies.
was so addicting, it was like playing a civilization game, screaming one more turn as the police is confiscating your phone from you because you haven't eaten in 3 days. People couldn't stop playing it. But as this game became so popular in Japan, it started somewhat suffering from success, you could say. You see, usually the people who own some of the best racehorses in the world happen to be some very wealthy and successful people. Seeing that Uma Musume's characters
Holy
are
cow.
based on real-life horses, they had to go and ask
Look at the
each of these
giant
owners
statue.
their permission to have them in the game. The owners agreed to do that free of charge, not charging any money. This was seen as a very cool and kind gesture from them. But here's the thing, these weren't just horses, these were anime girls that were in many cases pretty. And usually when you present Japan with a pretty anime girl, they will instinctively almost want to draw some pretty lewd fan art. That was a problem. Cygames knew it was a problem, so they created very specific fan-created content guidelines, outlining rules, saying you can't make fan art with the intent to injure the reputation of this franchise or other third parties. You can't do any lewd stuff, you can't do any violent stuff. The owners of these horses did not want to see their horses participate in anything like that. It was a red line for them, but that didn't necessarily make people want to listen. Now, of course, usually if you were to break these rules, Cygames would just send you a takedown notice and sue you if you don't comply. But of course, this would be too boring for a franchise like Uma Musume. So some people came up with a rumor that now is regarded as truth in many different circles and has spread like wildfire. If you draw any lewd art of Uma Musume girls, the Yakuza will knock on your door and hurt you. Okay, so as far as I can tell, this all started with this stupid tweet. A Japanese person tweeted this out, saying the reason why Japanese
like
artists
the
can't draw
Japanese
Uma Musume
mafia.
art is that Uma Musume is based on real racehorses and their owners are like mafia bosses who control the Japanese economy and we don't want to offend them. This was tweeted on March 11th, 2021, so very shortly after the game released. Now, I don't know how much attention this initial tweet got, but what really brought attention to this was the second tweet this person would make, saying please retweet as much as you can for people people overseas. It included that original
How is the
tweet
Yakuza gonna
and
fly
another
over to
image,
every
with
freaking
that person
country,
saying,
though?
the content of the tweet and the image is complete bullshit. It is a falsehood that amounts to defamation of the racehorse owners. I have insulted the owners of racehorses and other people involved in horse racing, as well as the staff of the Uma Musume project. Racehorse owners are people who are sincerely committed to the culture of horse racing. They are not involved in antisocial organizations. In addition, I tried to make
Mafia's
overseas
a good
artists
one.
complicit in the prohibition of secondary works that significantly worsen the image of the project, which is clearly stated in the official guidelines. This is all due to my short-sightedness and arrogance. I would like to express my deepest apologies to everyone involved and to all those who have supported me. So this apology was definitely overkill to the initial tweet. It was clearly like some kind of a joke, I guess. It was almost like this person had, I don't know, murdered someone. This made people assume that this person got caught by the Yakuza and forced, right, at gunpoint to make this apology, because that's what it sounds like. As you can see here, the top comment is, "So they found you?" And the person said, "No, it's not. It's just that I made the wrong statement." Someone else said, "I'm guessing they gave you a call." To which this person said, "No, it doesn't."
Oh my
Someone
god.
said, "I'm sorry to hear that the racehorse mafia got to you. I had no idea Japan even had such an intense culture of racehorsing, let alone one run by gangsters." Then that person replied with, "Please don't tell us such bullshit." This person was so easy to troll. And this eventually got posted on Reddit, ironically saying, "Turns out old-fashioned Yakuza are alive and well in Japanese horse racing industry. They are sending goons to stop doujin artists from making drawings of Uma Musume project
What kind of
characters."
goons?
All of these events have resulted in this becoming a full-fledged meme. Whenever someone mentions, "Man, I'd
That's
love
what people
to
wanna
draw
do.
these
They wanna
characters in
goon the
lewd
horses."
poses," someone always comes in and comments, "Hey man, you don't want to do that. The Yakuza's gonna get you." And while it's funny, it's gotten a lot of people to actually believe it, especially overseas. But the truth is that
Even the
Yakuza
Sox
doesn't own
agency
any of
guy.
the horses, and that gambling is heavily regulated by the JRA, the Japanese Racing Association. So no, if you draw lewd art, the Yakuza aren't going to knock on your door, but you might get a DMCA notice from a lawyer. But regardless, Yakuza
let the
hiccups
people
aside, this
goon.
game
It's
was
fine.
making bank. In 2021 alone, even though they released 1 month after
They're
the year
still
had began in
appreciating the
February,
growth.
they had made over $1 billion. And by March 2025, they had made a total of $2.5 billion since release. This is an insane amount of money, but what's even more insane is that 90% or more of its revenue came purely from Japan. Cygames had the Japanese population in its chokehold. And as I mentioned, these weren't just young adults. There will be endless stories of people going on the metro, going to a restaurant, going outside, and seeing someone way older than them or way younger than them playing this game on their phone. It became cultural. But here's the thing, Japan, even
Horse
though
racing
open to the rest of
girls
the world,
is
still
culture
has
now.
a very particular market. Just because something is successful there does not mean in any way that it'll be successful anywhere else, especially when it comes to the topic of gacha games. So when it came to finally launching the game globally on June 26, 2025, more than 4 years after launching it in Japan, people didn't really know what to expect. It was reasonable to think that it was going to just die out in a few months, with
No,
Japan continuing
never.
to be its main revenue source. Except what it did was inconceivable. It was absolutely dominating the Steam charts. As you saw in the intro, it became the #1 most downloaded game on Steam at some point. Also becoming an instant success on mobile. But what's really interesting here is that it managed to recreate exactly what happened in Japan, but globally, which was not having a target demographic, reaching everyone equally.
I'm getting my grandma
Here's
on
a
this
fun
game.
example. Northern Lion is a streamer who's 36 years old. He would not, in any way, be the
He's
target
bald.
demographic of a game like Uma Musume Pretty Derby. No way in hell. But his chat kept pestering him, "Please download the game, give it a shot, for the love of God, you'll love it." And eventually, he gave in. Now, Northern Lion is a pretty big streamer. He'll usually average around 15,000 viewers.
Whoa,
but
that's
when
big.
he streamed Uma Musume, he had reached his all-time peak of 40,000 live viewers. And you know what the craziest part is? He absolutely loved it, okay? He fell in love with the game, the characters, everything.
That's so
He even
funny.
had Japanese players seeing some of the reactions from Western players thinking, "Wow, we gotta up our game because these guys are way more passionate than us. Look at this."
Come on, Gold Ship, put it into high gear. I need all you got right now. The Kentucky Derby's on the line. Come on!
It was, with no exaggeration, taking over the entire internet. And it showed in the stock price of Cyber Agent, the parent company of Cygames, with its stock market price going up like crazy. But why is that? How is this game such a success, so highly rated, both in Japan and overseas? We've established that the gameplay loop is fun, sure, but there are a lot of games like that. This isn't just a game at this point, it's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah!
So what was something that it did that
It is
other
part
games
of our
weren't even close
lives.
to achieving? Well, the horses. Alright, so remember how I mentioned that
Yeah.
this game's anime was praised for having immense attention to detail and world building? Well, the game was very similar in that regard too. Seeing that all these anime horse girls were based on real-life horses, Cygames did their homework and examined every single horse and its very specific personality, incorporating all these aspects into their anime character. But that's not all. When it comes to the world of Uma Musume, many things in there were based on real-life locations, like racetracks and areas around it. We're talking anything from train stations to the convenience store where the horse girls buy their
Whoa.
carrots. This wasn't just attention to detail.
That's
this was
nuts.
making
Even the
landmarks out of IRL
location.
locations and attributing important history to them. Additionally, this world wasn't just made in like one evening. It
phones,
made
yeah.
sense, and that's because its world building was very well made. Horse girls in this world are seen as a different type of species. They're treated as well as humans, there's no discrimination, and instead they have a real place in this world. With certain
Yeah.
gadgets, for example, made specifically for them. Look at this extremely long phone. It's to accommodate her horse ear and her mouth. I mean, look at this stupid seat right here. It's made specifically for horse
Oh,
girls
just
so
for
that they
the
don't get
tail to come
uncomfortable with their
out.
tails. There's even historical landmarks in the
Oh, I
anime, like how
remember
there are
that.
Moai statues on Easter Island with horse girls. They even took
The
famous
Statue of
Japanese
Liberty,
horse
too.
racing paintings and converted them to accommodate the world. As you can see, these are horse girls racing here. So from a world point of view, this already made sense. The attention to detail was there. And so when it came to the actual personalities of each horse, guys, they couldn't have done a better job. For example, one of the most famous horses in Japanese racehorsing history is Goldship. This is a horse who ran
Goldship.
28 races and won 13 times. An incredible record. But what really made Goldship famous is that he was an absolute diva with the ridiculously unique and rage-baiting personality. In 2015, Goldship had a total of 12 billion yen betted on him. People were confident
Damn.
that he would win just like he won his other races. What we got instead was the day known as the 12 billion yen incident when he would do this. Watch.
ゴールドシップの3連覇か、それとも束が待ったをかけるのか。ゴールドシップが立ち上がった。
He would simply refuse to race. Everyone would go except him. He didn't care. He just didn't feel like it, and so he didn't race.
got
Losing
angry.
people 12 billion yen in bets. Now, this is how Goldship would look in the game and in general in the Uma Musume universe. They would recreate the same incident in the anime series. Watch.
負ける気がしねえ。真似すんじゃねえよ。おっと、ゴールドシップとエセカールが出ない。
And just so you know, they brought back the same
Go to
exact
see.
woman who was casting that day to voice in the anime. Guys,
Oh,
the attention to
yeah.
detail is
that
ridiculous.
too.
So seeing that Goldship was an absolute diva, yet at the same time very skilled, Cygames made sure to incorporate that into Uma Musume Pretty Derby. She'd be very skilled, very talented, and yet would have crazy mood swings, refusing to train, and sometimes, even though having the best stats, would just refuse to race, like they're not giving a single shit. This eccentric personality would so accurately be translated into the game that it would create a new overseas fan club for this IRL horse. I mean, look at this. This is a video of Goldship in retirement, literally just hanging out. It has over 2.2 million views. This is just a
Wow.
horse hanging out for 2 minutes, not doing anything except fooling around. That's how much of a sensation he became because of this game and his history. I mean, look, most people would have just stopped there and moved on to a different topic, but not with me, you won't. Goldship's personality wouldn't just end with him being a diva. He would also be one of the most successful breeders, with a
Oh, I
successful
heard that
mating rate
too.
of 99.1%, having over 500 children, with a few of them
That's
becoming absolute
crazy.
champions. In fact, according to some staff, after he would finish mating with a mare, she would then refuse to mate with anyone else but Goldship. That's just how good
Oh
he is,
my
man. But I guess it also
God.
explains why he enjoyed it so much. He would swing his cucumber from side to side because of how excited he was, okay? I know this is like a ridiculous amount of detail, but people look into this. That's how obsessed they are with Goldship. This isn't just because he was skilled or a massive diva, he was a rage baiter. Like the whole 12 billion yen incident, but also the fact that his trainers realized
Oh my
that, wait a
God.
second, In his retirement, he's running even faster than he used to run back when he was still a racehorse, making them realize that he never used his full potential while being a racehorse, almost as if on purpose to spite his trainers.
What?
This made people realize that horses aren't just creatures that we share a special connection with. They also have many unique and diverse personalities. Most people have a hard time seeing that though, because we don't really interact with horses that much anymore. So turning them into anime horse girls
Most people
with
don't
proper
live at the
world
farm
building around them
anymore.
made us finally appreciate their very deep and valuable personalities. And no one received more appreciation than the horse Haru Urara. You see, when she was young, she would go unsold at an auction. Seeing that no one wanted to buy her, she was entrusted to the cheapest racecourse to run in Japan. Her trainers thought that this would be a good chance for her to maybe win since she had a hard time training. But then she went on to lose 113 races in a row.
She's a
never
winner in
winning
our
once.
hearts.
However, when she had lost her 87th race in a row, the race announcer, Koji Hashiguchi, would be absolutely shocked at this statistic. He was like, dude, this like never happens. Most horses would have given up by now. They would have retired. So he sent her racing record to national media outlets thinking, dude, this is insane. Like, you got to talk about this. And they did, which made her ridiculously famous. People started going in droves to where she raced, the Kochi racecourse. The wives of the jockeys, the people who rode the horses, took advantage of this and started making merchandise. And get this, at a certain point, people would go to this racecourse just to bet on Haru Urara, knowing very well that they were going to lose, but they would love that because then they'd use that betting ticket as a protective charm for car accidents. They believed that it held special powers, bro. You understand what I'm talking about here? This horse had superstitions made around it. I mean, this was such a big boom that Haru Urara had single-handedly saved the Kochi racecourse from going bankrupt. They were able to pay off all their debts thanks to her. And today, as you can see, Haru Urara is painted on the side here. That's how much of a legend she is. Seeing that she's in the game of Uma Musume Pretty Derby, this prompted both Japanese and global players to select her to try and give her the win that she so very deserved in real life, making her one of the most popular characters in the game. This renewed attention from the global audience with their love for Haru Urara eventually allowed them to find out that they can send gifts to her in her retirement because she's still alive. They could send her some premium ryegrass directly. They sent 2.7 tons of ryegrass. Usually one person could buy $40 worth, which is 5 kilograms. But people crashed the donation website and now we're sitting at 2.7 tons. This is an image of this little cutie receiving her gifts, and it's prompted people to draw fan art of this phenomenon. I mean, look at how much ryegrass is in front of her. She has enough food until the end times. 2.7 tons, you're insane. In fact, thanks to this game and its renewed attention on these horses and their accomplishments, many of them who are now in retirement are receiving many donations, able to fully enjoy their older years. This is because this game didn't just make a lot of money and renew interest in horse racing, but it has single-handedly revitalized the entire horse racing industry globally, specifically in Japan. In the world of horse racing, sometimes, unfortunately, racehorses are not able to retire. This can happen for a number of reasons, but usually it's because there's not enough funding. Back when this game released in Japan, it fueled a movement of people donating to many of these famous retired horses, ensuring that they not only live a good life, but that they can continue to live in general. But retirement isn't fun if you just have money. It's also nice when you meet people, when you still interact socially. Many of these retired racehorses started receiving visitors, so much so that Uma Musume had to release an official guideline on how to visit stables and what to do in order to be respectful. For famous horses such as Haru Urara or Goldship, visits sell out immediately as soon as they're posted. This has led some crazy, ridiculous fans to sneak onto the stable grounds sometimes just to see the horses, with Cygames completely denouncing that and saying you shouldn't do that, stop. But that wasn't all. Cygames was making a lot of money from this game, and they understood that there's a mutual benefit here. If horse racing thrives, they thrive too. And so the president of cyber agents, Susumu Fujita, has become a high roller when it comes to buying expensive horses and raising them for
Look at him, that's a rich man
always
right
being
there.
one of the leading buyers when it comes to horse auctions in Japan. So far, he has spent easily over $10 million making up his own fleet of racehorses, and he's not planning on stopping anytime soon. But this isn't just about Japan.
Gonna have his own
this is about horse racing
Kentucky
globally.
Derby.
In May of this year, they had announced a partnership with the 151st Kentucky Derby,
In
the
America?
most watched and most attended horse race in the United States, taking place since the year 1875. And you had this anime girl horse racing game being their biggest
I would
sponsor.
totally
This
go
also
there if I
extends
get
to
like
Paris. As we
Horse
saw in
girl
the intro,
merch.
they're not just sponsoring the Grand
Like
Prix
they
de
did
Paris,
with
but
baseball
they're
and
the
Hololive.
main sponsor. And I mean, look, if
And,
you
like,
showed me an image
California.
of horse racing, I probably would think, oh, cool. But if I was a young person and saw a poster like this, I think, whoa, whatever this is, I want this. Where can I get tickets? It's an extremely mutually beneficial partnership. Additionally, racehorsing merchandise has had a boom in Japan ever since the game had
Look
come
how
out,
cute
truly
those
turning this into an
plushies
animal
are.
idol industry. These dolls, for example, they sell out like crazy. It's actually very hard to get them, especially for outside of Asia. Actually, I think they're keychains, but you get the point. Psy Games
Oh,
was
they're
essentially
so
making a lot of money from this, but they
cute.
were using it for good things, making this industry a better place, helping treat retired horses even better, and in general being a positive force in the community. This reminds me how at
I don't
some
know
point,
why that grass
Hoyoverse, the
actually
creators of Genshin
starting to
Impact,
look
had invested
delicious.
in a
I kinda
nuclear
wanna
fusion
munch on
reactor,
that.
and in 2024 it became operational. Who
I
would have
think I'm
thought that
becoming
you
a
spending
horse
money
girl,
on
too.
characters in a gacha game was going to end up somehow in a nuclear fusion reactor in Singapore?
What?
Overall, this industry is revived. It's back. Audiences now feature
nuke!
women, young people, middle-aged people, demographics that horse racing usually wouldn't be able to reach. This has already been happening in Japan, and I'm sure it'll start happening globally thanks to this game. I can't help but laugh when I say this, but it's true. This anime girl horse racing gacha game has somehow been able to single-handedly revive this entire sport
I'm
while somehow
happy
making the
about
world
that.
a better place. it's crazy, but it's where we
made
are
it a better
today.
place
I hope
thanks
I
to
was able
horse
to explain
girls.
why this game took over the world and why it's continuing to, and I really appreciate you watching until the end. This is a fairly different video from what I usually do on my channel, but hey, I figured it would be fun. Now the sponsor does want me to end this video with a message, so before I'll do that, I'll thank you again, say that I love you, and mwah, see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. As a reminder, you can get 100,000 Servo Lions, premium vehicles, 7 days premium account, and much
Get
more if you're a
your
returning player that hasn't played for over 6 months, or if you're a new player
items.
in
If you
War
can't go
Thunder
to
that
war in
supplies
real
both PC
life,
and
just go to
console.
war
So
in a
click the link in the
game.
description or the pinned comment to download it for free
Right
today.
after we see cute horse girls. Never give up! Let's go, Haru! You never give up! They eat horse meat in age. Oh lord, oh lord, oh lord! I don't even want to imagine that. Don't eat Haru! That was so great. I learned a lot of information I did not know about, like, so many different aspects about horse racing. That's crazy. So educational, honestly. For all the right reasons, which is horse girls. I'm not gonna lie, if they collab with the horse racing here in Puerto Rico, because we do have that here too, I would actually go, especially if they were to sell merch. I'd be like, I wanna go! And if they have like posters and shit everywhere of like Uma Musume, like I would totally like go just to like, I don't know, like I wouldn't bet. If I were to had to bet, I'd probably just bet like $10 because I'm really broke. But like I'd just be like, you know, just for the fun of it, for the experience, just to see it all, buy some merch, and, you know, and support it, because they should bring that everywhere. Psy Games is on, Uma Musume, Psy Games, Uma Musume, whatever. It should revive horse racing everywhere, not just singular places, you know? Like, there is a horse racing thingy here in Puerto Rico, too, that I could go to. We see horses, animals you generally wouldn't eat. Yeah, in some countries, there's some animals that they eat that you wouldn't think of ever it being edible, but it technically is if you just cook it, you know? Like, almost any living creature is edible. I don't think I would try it, to be honest. I'm already not much of a meat enjoyer, so like I'm not vegan or anything, but it's just me being weird. I'm just weird. But anyway, I never had an interest in like the animal itself, horses as the animal itself. I never thought they were that interesting. I was more of a cat person. I always loved cats. But this game is making me want to, like, I don't know, go to Japan and meet the horses and just kind of pet it and be like, oh my god, you are the one in the game. Wow. You know, like, isn't that like such a fun idea? I don't know. I feel like I would do that. My brothers are in Japan. I didn't get to go. If I need to get my brothers into the game, I wonder if they are. I need to get them into Uma Musume. They need to join. You can only pet Daiwa Gold Ship now. Well, the other future horses that are gonna show up in Global are also still alive. There's some that are also still alive. I don't know about which one specifically, but there's so many horses right now in like Japan, Uma Musume, that it's like a lot of them are still alive at this point, like a huge amount. But yeah, for Global it's only Daiwa and Gold Ship, I think, until they release more horses for us. But yeah. Yeah. Alrighty. As for our... Oh, Meisho Doto... Oh, Meisho Doto's alive! Oh, yeah, Meisho Doto's about to come out, I think, this month. That's true. I think this month or next month, I forgot. Meisho Doto's coming out soon. Alright. I got one more video. This one's a Jay Schlatt. I find this guy like one of the most hilarious streamers in the entire internet. I don't know. Like, his sense of humor is so... It's so funny. Like, for me, like, this guy just knows how to be funny. Like, he's a natural comedian. Oh, you know what? I just realized it's been about 2 hours. God damn it. Okay. I'll save this one for next time. It's just that I have to, like, edit, some things. I have to, like, organize some things for the panel. Frick. I thought I was gonna be able to do this one. My bad, guys. I'll just end it here instead. Should I even raid someone? Because I kind of have to, like, rush things. Gomenasai, guys. Maybe I'm not even gonna raid anybody, to be honest. Sorry. I kind of have to rush things. So I have to eat dinner, like, now, and it's, like, really late. And also, like, prepare things for the panel. There's a lot of things to prepare. It's a lot of work. And I'm the one that's putting it all on my shoulders right now. But it's okay, because I like to do this stuff. But yeah, I gotta be responsible. Okay. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we got another stream. We're gonna have some more fun tomorrow, okay? And I'll see you guys on the panel. Oh, for those who can make it, at least. For the Nebraska. Okay, don't forget. I want to see at least one of you guys there. All right. I'll let you guys decide who you want to watch, because I kind of have to rush it now. Alrighty. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming. We'll see this one next time, okay? Okay. This guy's so funny. We'll see you next time. Sayonara, guys. Good